Hi everyone, this is Laura with Lonely Pines Farm, and today we're talking all about how you can save more money on your groceries. It's no secret that groceries are getting super expensive these days, and over the past few years we've come up with a bunch of different ways that have drastically lowered our grocery bill, and we want to share those with you. Now I will warn that this is not an overnight fix, but it doesn't involve clipping coupons and it doesn't involve running to a million different stores. This is a long-term plan to work on bringing more of your groceries in-house. We're going to talk about bulk, finding alternatives, all sorts of great stuff to help you save money at the grocery store, and it'll probably make you a little bit more self-sufficient along the way. So this is going to be the beginning of a multi-part series where we go through all of the different steps that we've taken over the years and how you can apply them to your own personal grocery habits. Windy today. So with no further ado, let's get into part number one. And part number one is a question. One simple question, and when you answer this question, you'll be able to determine what direction you go in your cost-cutting journey and where you can start trimming fat. And that question is, drum roll please, what sends you to the store? And what I mean by that is, what is that one item or a couple items that once you're out of them, then you have to go to the grocery store? For example, we try to go about once a month, but there are those in-between trips. And what are those things you're grabbing in the in-between trips? What are the things you can't live without? So when we first asked ourselves this question and started paying attention to our grocery habits, we noticed that there were three things that if we ran out of one or two, or heaven help us, all three of them, we had to go to the store. And that was onions, garlic, and potatoes. And there was a pretty consistent need for these because we've realized that they are staples in our household. So what do we do with that information? Well, we took it straight out into the garden. We made a vow, and since then we have stood by it, to try and grow a sustainable supply, or at least as close as we can get, of potatoes, onions, and garlic. And I'm not going to lie, that is a little bit of the inspiration as to why we became garlic farmers, because, I mean, who doesn't love having a lot of garlic? We're going to be growing it anyway. Might as well. So now that we grow those in-house, that's a lot less trips that we're making to the grocery store. That's saving us time and money, not only on groceries, but on gas as well. And the beautiful thing is, once you've kind of, fixed the top offenders, then you just ask yourself that question again. Right now, the three things that we have been working on, the three things on our in-between trips have been toilet paper, wine, and lemons. A bit of a laughable combo, I know, but I like what I like, and we try and live the way that we want to live. So if I like wine, I like wine, and we're going to try and make it work without having to make too many sacrifices. So on the topic of wine, I actually did buy an at-home wine kit. I have been too scared to actually use it. It's been sitting for probably at least a year now, and I'm going to get off. I'm going to do it one of these days. I'm going to get the nerve, and I'm going to give it a try. I hear it's not that difficult, but I am pretty confident that if I do figure out how to make wine, that will reduce the amount of money that we spend on alcohol, and could even potentially have our own total supply made in-house here on the farm, which would be pretty fantastic, especially since alcohol is one of our top 3 spending categories, but we'll talk more about those later. So wine's not checked off the list, but it is a work in progress. What is checked off the list as best it can be is toilet paper. We very recently bought a bidet online. It was less than $30, and it has been a complete game changer. Now, I'm not going to get into it too much, but let's just say that we use a lot less toilet paper, and all those shortages we had a little while ago where everyone was buying up all the TP? Well, I feel a lot better now knowing that if that happened, we wouldn't be affected by it. We could temporarily move to family cloth, and I know that we've been buying a lot less TP these days. And then boom, toilet paper is checked off the grocery list. The third thing was lemons. Lemons are a little bit more difficult, but we have been meeting with local farmers that built a completely self-sufficient, tropical geodome that is absolutely fantastic. They grow all sorts of citrus, and it's going to be a bit of a long-term project, but knowing that we enjoy tropical fruits and citrus has actually made a dome like that much more logical, a much less frivolous build, and has moved up the list in terms of importance. So it's something we definitely want to work on. And now that those three have been addressed, it's time to ask ourselves that same question again. What sends you to the store? So that's what this all boils down to. I know this was a lot of personal examples, but hopefully it gives a lot of examples as to ways you could apply this to your own grocery bill. If it's coffee that sends you, you could think of buying more in bulk when you do go, so you go less frequently. If it's a specific recipe, maybe you can find a copycat way to make it at home. There are a lot of options out there. So if you want help brainstorming, drop your top offenders in the comments down below in terms of what sends you to the store. I hope this was super helpful. And again, this is part 1 on a series on how to save on your grocery bill. So be sure to like and subscribe so that you get the next installment, and we'll be back on here talking about it soon. Bye.